Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You should have no other God besides one God. That is the very first commandment that Prophet Moses that he was given by God, and this is mentioned in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus chapter 20 verse number 3. When we look into the other prophets, other messengers in the Old Testament, every single one of them, they came to invite their people and humanity to worship only one God and submit to only one God. Jesus, peace be upon him, he came exactly with the same commandment. It says in the Gospel of Mark chapter 12 verse number 28 that of all the commandments of the Old Testament, which one is the first, the greatest of all of them? And Jesus, peace be upon him, he replied, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord, our God, is only one." It happened that people, they moved away from the absolute monotheism and they started to worship idols and humans and the creation. That's when God sent his last and final prophet, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and reintroduced the concept of absolute oneness of God. So that absolute oneness of God, submission to the Creator, in Arabic is Islam. The concept of God that we Muslims have is really pure and pristine and absolute monotheistic. And I will present to you 5 quick points about the concept of God in Islam. The first and the most important point is that we say that God is one in one. He's not one in many. He's not multiple entities, multiple idols. He's not 3 in 1, 1 in 3. He's absolutely one in one. The second point is, we say that God is the only creator. You know, the wonderful universe that we have. God is the only one who created the universe. Nobody instead of God and nobody along with God. Point number 3. When we worship God directly. We don't go through any mediator, not through Muhammad, peace be upon him, not through any idols, not through any, saints. We worship God directly. And the reason we worship God directly is that we say that God is all-knowing, He's all-hearing. So we don't need to worship God through any mediator. Point number 4 is that we say that God has wonderful attributes, and those attributes only belong to God. No one shares those attributes, no human, no creation, no idol. And the most important thing is every single prophet, every single messenger, may that be Moses, Jesus, Abraham, Muhammad, peace be upon all of them, they all came to invite humanity to the worship of one God, absolutely monotheism. So when you say you worship only one God, now I want you to think and ponder, are you worshiping God in its absolute oneness, or are you attaching partners with God? We invite you to worship only one God, the God of Abraham.